Okay, hello everyone, and welcome to For the Girls with Becca Moore. I'm so happy you guys are here today. Um, Today I want to talk about signs that I was into girls before I knew I was into girls. Just from dating a girl, I always say like I look back and I see no signs, and I just met Shannon, and then all of a sudden I knew I wanted to be with a woman, but at the same time I'm like, when we're dating, the longer we date, the more random suppressed memories that come up. And I think that like if I had just like recognized these as direct signs, I probably would have figured it out a lot sooner instead of figuring it out that I was bi at 26. So I'm just gonna tell you my experiences. Also some life updates. I don't know actually. I don't know why I just tried to start a new segment. I don't usually do life updates. I think I just like did an improv thing. I guess in general I could give you like updates on how I'm doing. Last week I did do an episode on my partying era and like what I was like at 19 years old. And that episode like was my favorite one to record. I felt once I posted that, I felt like so free and kind of like understood by the internet. I feel like that was like a chapter of my life that I've been, I guess, like ashamed of for a long time. That chapter of my life is like when I was going out every night, like trying to ignore my problems and like dealing with random trauma that I was going through at the time. And I finally told the story to the internet. Like basically I was just getting into trouble all the time. I mean, at least with my parents, but I was being a degenerate at 19 years old. I was broke. I had no money. I was basically homeless. And I tell the story. So, I mean, it was my favorite episode. I did get demonetized by YouTube. And I think shadow banned by YouTube. I don't want to like make assumptions, but I mean, I did title it my extreme party phase. So I kind of understand. And I did talk about like a bit of drug use, not really, but I don't know. And I did talk about like subjects that were a little bit like not safe for, I don't know. I just want to say like if you haven't seen that episode or listened to that episode, I would love if you guys would go watch it. Just I feel like it would just help you understand me more as a person. I feel like that was like really my formative years, and even like looking back and talking about it was healing for me. Okay, so today I wanted to talk about things that made me realize I was gay. But first of all, I want to talk about like how I feel post coming out. So me and Shannon hard launched our relationship in July, at the beginning of July, and it's the end of September now. And after we came out, or I came out, she's been out, but after I hard launched having a girlfriend, I felt really emotional in the week after, and I couldn't really put my finger on why. I think I was putting a lot of that emotion on probably just feeling like, oh my God, like, are my friends all gonna think that I was, I don't know, different now? Are they going to like reflect, like, especially girls, like, are they going to like look back at our memories together and be like, oh my God, she was gay the entire time. Was she like flirting with me? And I think I was just really like in the phase of like, oh my God, I swear I'm the same. I'm the same. But I think I don't even know if I'm the same anymore. I'm not the same anymore. I'm different. I'm in a good way. Like I first of all feel more free since like having a girlfriend publicly. Like I feel like people literally have to accept me or else they can't be in my life. I guess like I don't know. It's just like I feel like it was illuminating on like that's a crazy word. Never use that. It was like illuminating on like what friendships matter and which ones I can kind of let calmly fade into the background with like I still send them love in my head, but it's like I guess it's like a marker at where you are in life and like who is in your life currently and who is important to you and what's important to you and what's no longer important to you. So and it's also like been, I think it just highlights a bunch of stuff in your life, like coming out or like big events in your life kind of like really set something in stone for like where you are in your life right now and who's around you in your life right now. So all of that to say, I'm happy now. I did an emotional podcast episode around a week after I came out, and it was emotional. I haven't watched it back. By the way, I don't really watch my episodes back after posting them ever. I think it's kind of cringy for me to watch myself, because I edit these myself, and it's just like I just spend so much time editing it. It's like, and you guys, it takes a lot of time to edit. It takes me like an entire day, so I don't feel like watching it back over and over. So sometimes I forget like what I talked about and like what I was saying. But yeah, I just know it was a really emotional episode, and it doesn't like bring me joy to watch back. So I don't watch it back. But anyway, I just remember being very emotional, and that's not really how I feel anymore. I'm so happy to be gay. I'm in a gay relationship, so yeah, in some ways I am the same as I was growing up, but in other ways I'm like fully like accepting every part of myself without feeling like a little bit of shame, because as I reflect on past things that I kind of buried deep inside my brain and like body in order to feel quote unquote normal, I'm like, why it would have just been so much more freeing to be like fully myself and fully, not that I wasn't ever like consciously like pushing down or like consciously having like negative bias towards like anyone that was queer or like any of my own queer thoughts. Like I thought they were like fun, but I wasn't ready to fully accept that part of myself. I was still holding on to like, I'm straight because I like boys. It never occurred to me that bi people exist. Also, it is ironic. Today is Bi Visibility Day. And I'm like, okay. I still have some biphobia. It's hard to get rid of, we all know. Listen, I am bi, so I can say this. I just have a hard time with it. Like, I think that lesbians are cool. Gay guys are cool. Straight people, they're fine. I like straight people. I was one like 7 months ago, but 9 months, 10 months. I thought I was a straight person. Anyway, I'm just saying, bi people I struggle with. I'm still struggling. For some reason, I feel the same way about them and them being me. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be biphobic. I know, I'm sorry. I just feel the same way about them as I do, like, I don't even want to say the word. I struggle with polyamory. Okay. I just struggle with it. I'm like, just choose. Choose. Just choose. I don't understand. I might cut this out. I'm just saying, I have a hard time. I equate myself in my head to polyamorous people because I'm like, oh my God, just choose. Obviously, I've chosen right now. I have a girlfriend and I love being with my girlfriend. But bi people in general, I'm like, why can't you just choose? I don't know. Obviously, that's not an option. They like both sexes, and most people like both. Most people fall on the spectrum somewhere. I'm just saying, I'm telling you my struggle as I'm going through it, as I'm grappling with my identity. It is crazy, all of the things that I like. I don't know. It's just crazy how I feel like I've grown up since I was 19. Like, I'm like, oh my God, I never thought I'd be making this podcast episode. I'll tell you that. But I should have known. That gets me into the clues that I had. I have no outline for this episode, by the way. I have no idea where I'm about to start, but it sounds like I'm going somewhere. So let's see where I go. Recently, I was talking to Shannon. Okay, we're going with kindergarten. That's where my brain wanted to go. If you don't know, I do have ADHD. I do try to control it. I'm not on meds, and I know I should get on meds, but I can't. I don't want to right now. Because, like, Adderall made me go crazy, you guys. It was so bad. Anyway, I'm sorry to the people that hate when I do this. Okay, I'm going back to kindergarten. We're in kindergarten. I was just recently talking to Shannon about this, about my kindergarten experience and how I should have known back then. Kindergarten. I was walking around the playground, making out. I mean, no. Okay, no. I was not making out with anyone. I was walking on the playground, kissing boys, and then I just started kissing girls too on the playground. We were like, I don't know if we were in like, I think we were all just chasing each other and like kissing each other. And I was also kissing girls too, though. And then I remember Bailey, never mind, I won't say her last name. Bailey, sorry if you're watching this, Bailey. I don't think you're on social media anymore, but, or I don't know if you are on social media. I'm sorry, Bailey. There's no way she remembers this. But this girl named Bailey that was in my class came up to me and was like, Becca, you can't kiss girls on the playground. It's wrong. And I remember being like, why? And I remember thinking, even in my 5-year-old brain, I was like, she's wrong. That it's wrong. It's not wrong. We were kissing the girls and I were kissing each other. Why is that wrong? I don't understand. And I think at that point I knew what being gay was because my mom had told me about it. My mom is super like, not hippie, but kind of hippie. Like I knew the concept of being gay already at 5 years old. But so yeah, I knew Bailey was wrong. Like I knew being gay was okay at 5. And so I was like, okay. And then I was like, I'm not going to kiss girls with Bailey anymore. Anyway, I was kissing girls and boys. Didn't think anything of it. At that time, it was fun, whatever. Then when you're going through early elementary years, people start talking about gay, like what the concept of gay is. And it immediately becomes bad, mostly because boys are like scared of it, I think. Like it was always the boys being like, you're gay. Have you seen that TikTok? It's like, you're gay. You're one of them queers or whatever. I love that TikTok. Anyway, so suddenly it became like negative and scary. So that's when I was like, oh, it must be bad to be gay. Interesting. Okay. I didn't have any like sexuality then. Like I didn't feel like I was anything. I didn't like boys. I didn't like girls until around like 3rd or 4th or 5th grade. I don't know when that starts happening. I think like 2nd and 3rd grade you start having crushes. I liked the boys in my elementary school, so kind of just got to go away for a while. Then as I was 9 and 10 and then like 11, getting into like later years, I started being like, I'm having like weird thoughts about girls. Like, why do I feel this way about girls? Like, I think I learned what bisexual was because I was Googling stuff. Like, I think at that point I had access to a computer. Yes, I did. And I was like Googling things. And I started taking those like quizzes that would come up around middle school time, being like, do I like girls? Like, and I got the answer on a BuzzFeed quiz or something like that was like, are you gay or straight? And I got 50-50, like you might be. And I remember being like, I can never tell anyone about this. Like, this is bad. Like at that point I had full like shame instilled in me by the things that people were saying. So, I thought it was really bad that I got that result, and I decided not to ever tell anyone ever, and I never did. Literally never did. Okay, so around this time, my friends and I were also like having sleepovers on the weekends, and we started like making out at these. We would play like spin the bottle, and I really liked that game. I really liked when we were playing spin the bottle. Should have known then. I really liked it. It was really fun. Obviously, no boys were around. We were just like playing, like we were like in middle school. And yeah, I just started having like weird thoughts, like, oh my God, I might like, not my friends specifically, but like I was like, I like kissing a girl the same way I didn't have experience kissing guys yet, but I don't know, I liked it. But again, I was like, I just don't have to ever tell anyone. I'm lucky because I like boys too, so I don't have to tell anyone. These are real thoughts that I really had, but like because I liked boys, it was so easy to like suppress it, like, and forget about it and kind of like lock it up in a box and be like, that's not real. Like, whatever. I don't have to address that because whatever, I'll marry a guy and be happy with a guy. So it doesn't matter. Which is crazy to think about now. I'm like, that's so crazy. I was okay with like never, I mean, I was like 13, but anyway, these are real thoughts that I had. Then high school comes around. I'm not even thinking about girls anymore. It all faded away. I was so consumed by myself and like my insecurities and boys and fitting in. That kind of faded away. I didn't think about girls like ever. College, yeah. Yeah, things started happening. So first of all, I loved any lesbian, like loved them. I wanted to be around them in classes. Like I thought they were so smart and funny and cool. I didn't realize that meant I was probably attracted to them. I really thought that they were just cool. Like I was like, they're smart. They're smart. Granted, I wasn't around a lot of like lesbians, I don't think. I mean, I was just in a sorority. I was like going out. I don't know. I don't know if I was around a lot of them. Then when I lived in my sorority house, there was this girl. I never know if I should like say her name. I think I'm just not going to say her name in case. But she knows about this story. I mean, I've told it before, but I don't know if I've told her before. But there was this girl, I'll call her Stacy. Stacy was I had a real big in my sorority, but then my big dropped. So then Stacy adopted me in my sorority, and she lived in the house with me. And there were so many girls that lived in the house that we didn't all like talk all the time, but like a lot of us didn't know each other. So one day it was just me and Stacy at the breakfast table, and like she said something. No, okay. We were both sitting at the breakfast table, and she was like sitting a couple seats down, because sometimes like after classes, like we were just like caught in between a class, and there was like we didn't know each other. Like we knew of each other, but we had never had a one-on-one conversation. And I started like saying things to the cook. Like I just started talking to the cook, and then I noticed Stacy kept laughing at everything I say. This is before she took me in as her adopted little, so like we again hadn't known each other at all. And I just hear her keep laughing at me, and then we just start talking, and we're sitting like far away from each other, and then we just like end up sitting next to each other and like doing small talk, but like it was like the funniest conversation ever. And I remember thinking she was kind of more of a tomboy. So now looking back, I'm like, okay, it makes sense. Like that's my type of girl. I loved her, like wanted to hang out with her all the time. And I couldn't tell, everything that she would say, I would be like, I want to hang out with you all the time. Like, I love you. And like, I couldn't tell if it was like as a friend or like if I like wanted to date her. Like I couldn't tell. So, and I started telling everyone in my sorority about it. Like I told my roommate, I told all my friends in my sorority. I was like, you guys, why do I feel like I like this girl? Like she lives across the hall from me. Like why do I feel like I like her? And everyone thought it was so funny, and I would tell anyone. And like at the time, I didn't think it was real. Like I didn't think like I could actually be into a girl. I was just like expressing like my thoughts, because I've always been a person that like I can't keep things in. Like I feel like anxious about secrets. Like I have to tell people, but it didn't even feel like a secret. It felt like a joke. Like it felt like, I don't know if I'm joking or not. Like I was just talking as I was going. Like I was like, I want to hang out with her all the time. Like I'm like, sometimes I'm like, oh my God, I might like her. I was just doing my inner monologue out loud. And everyone was like, oh my God. So eventually it got back to Stacy. Stacy came to my room, asked me if we were best friends at this point, by the way. Like we hung out all the time, every weekend, obviously. In between classes, she would drive me to my classes. I think she was the one with the car, or was it our friend? We had another friend, Kate. I don't know, but we hung out a lot. Like, and we lived in a house together. Like so this is when it got like messy. It's like I can't like her. Like we're friends. So Stacy one day knocks on my door, and she's like, hey, do you want to like go outside for a second and smoke? I don't know if I can say like things like that, words like that anymore, like WEED. I don't know if I can say that anymore because I got demonetized last time. So I'm like, okay. She asked me if I wanted to smoke WEED with her. I don't even like smoking WEED. For Stacy, yeah. Obviously I'm going to smoke WEED. So I go in the back with her. It's like raining. We're like sitting on the back porch, and she's like, so I heard that we got H-I-G-H. I was so H-I-G-H. She was like, I heard that you like me. And I was like, what? What? How, well, where'd you hear that? What do you think about that? I'm just kidding. I was like, no. I was like, I would never like you. You're a girl. Like, ew. That's so weird. Who would say that? Liars. Everyone's a liar in this sorority. And then she was like, no, it's fine. Even if you do, like, whatever. And I was like, I don't like you at all. I've never liked you. And she was like, oh my God, okay, I was making sure. By the way, I did make out with Casey in the hot tub, and we hooked up. Casey's a girl. I was like, why didn't you tell me that? Why didn't you tell me that? Okay. Why did you choose then to tell me? By the way, she watches all my stuff, so I'm like, are you going to see this, Stacy? But that is what happened. I don't know. I remember feeling jealous of the hot tub story when she told me. I was like, why did you choose just now to tell me that you hooked up with our other sorority sister in the hot tub? Do you like me? Do we like each other? Or are we just best friends? And big and little? I don't know. So yeah, I was very confused. In high school, I also had I forgot about this. Sorry. I'm like adding context to high school. I'm going to call her Macy. I met her in an ice cream shop, and then we became best friends. And it was like at the end of my high school career, like my junior and senior year, we were like so codependent, and like to the point where it was like we are dating, like we were in a full relationship, and I would get jealous of her boyfriend. I hated when she had boyfriends. I wanted to hang out with her all the time. Yeah, that probably was not fully platonic, but like at the same time, I don't know. I mean, we would make out and like spin the bottle when we played spin the bottle, but I don't remember like wanting to like hook up with her. It was more like really, really codependent, toxic friendship where it's like we are attached at the hip. Like I didn't care about anyone except for her. I wanted to hang out with her all of the time. Like I wanted to live with her like forever. Like I wanted to be, I thought she was going to be in my life forever. And then it was just like so similar to like a relationship because we like were best friends for like a year, and then we like broke up. Like it fully felt like we broke up. We would fight all the time, but like we fully broke up, and then we would try to like hang out again, and it was like we lost the spark. Like we lost like the rum. It felt like a traditional breakup in the sense that like you can't really get back together after a long period of time because you lost something there, you know? Looking back on that, I'm like, was that romantic? I'm not 100% sure. That seems kind of like LGBTQ in my opinion. I don't know. People just like would like suspect that we were dating. We thought it was funny. I should have known from that. Stacy was really like my only crush in college, I think. Then post-college, like TikTok. When TikTok took off, I was seeing these girls that were like, my For You page became lesbians. Like, I don't know, you guys. I would like see hot girls on the internet and be like, oh my God, I want to make out with these girls, but like, I won't tell anyone. Like, it's not real. Like, I don't know. It was like girls with like cute, like masculine looking girls. I have recently found some comments from me to random TikTok lesbians. I don't know, you guys. It was just like random comments at people. Like Zoe, Shannon's roommate, her pinned video. I'm going to read you a comment that I made on her music video that I didn't know about until she showed me when I was at her house. It's her Somebody I Fucked Once music video. And the comment is one of the top comments on this video from 2021, September 26, 2021. Ha 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 ha. WTF. Sometimes I wonder if I'm not straight. That girl is so hot. What? Little did I know I would one day date Zoe's roommate. I was talking about this girl. I'm sorry if you're not on YouTube because I'm going to show the camera the girl that I was talking about. It's a girl dressed in all black, just like with like short hair. Anyway, I think what my type I've realized now is like a girl in between masculine and feminine, like in the middle of that kind of. Like I think I am attracted to someone that like takes the lead in a relationship, but is still feminine, you know? Anyway, it's just funny that there are definitely other random girls that I slid in Mal from. I did slide in Mal from Queer Ultimatum's DMs, and then she did take an interview where she said, "I've seen everyone's DMs towards me, and I'm not replying because I don't want to be a straight girl's experiment." Fair, very fair, very fair. But even then, I was still ignoring it. I also went to, oh my God, at my hair salon, Ruby Rose was sitting next to me. Is it bad if I name drop? Like, I don't know. I feel like I've been like taking other podcast interviews and like talking to them. I've been like on a podcast tour basically, but in every single one they asked me like, were there signs? And every time I'm like, no, there weren't really signs. But then I'm like, I keep talking, and then I'm like, okay, well, I mean, I was at the hair salon, and Ruby Rose was sitting next to me, and I was like posting on my close friend story, like, oh my God, I'm gay, like I'm gay, I'm fully gay, like I like this girl. How do I get her to look at me? And I was like staring at her in the mirror. She didn't look at me. We never talked. Obviously, I like moved on with my life. But I keep telling that story, and like no things ever happen. I keep talking about like even Mal from Ultimatum, and like I haven't heard. So I feel like it's fine. Not Ultimatum, queer Ultimatum. I think it's fine if I keep name dropping. I just feel bad. I'm like, do you guys care? I don't know. Not that I'll ever see this. But you'd be surprised. You guys would be surprised at the podcast that I'm watching. I'm watching the randomest podcast. Anyway, I'm just saying. I feel bad name dropping, but that was another sign. Also, another random sign. People would tell me all the time. They'd be like, you're bi. You're bi. You're bi. You're bi. And I'd be like, but it's so fun that you think that. Oh my God, I want to play along. I wouldn't get offended. I would think it was funny that they thought that, and I would be like, that's fun. Here's the thing. My two best friends in this world, I'm not going to name drop them because I don't know if they want me to expose this about them. They are also bi, I think. I know definitely one of them is. I really hope they don't care if I say this. And so imagine having that sounding board like forever, being like, you're not gay, Becca, like you're fine. Like, because we all felt kind of the same way. Like people that I would tell that I was like attracted to a random girl, instead of them being like, maybe you're bi, have you ever explored that? Everyone would say to me, girls are just so hot. Like girls are hotter. Like that is natural, and like that's normal to feel that way. So people weren't taking me seriously when I was saying like I was attracted to a girl. Like I think they thought I was joking. Because I wasn't ever saying it like in a deep way, being like, oh my God, I have to tell you guys something. I was always like, am I gay? I like this girl. She's so hot. And everyone would be like, remember that guy that you're like talking to right now? Like you're not gay. And I'd be like, yeah, you're right. And I would kind of forget about it, you know? I get like if I had put the puzzle pieces together, I would have come to the conclusion sooner, but it didn't feel ever like a pressing issue in my life where I was like, I need to explore my sexuality or else I might die, because I am bi. So I was like, whatever, I'll just end up with a man. Like it won't even matter. And maybe I'll get to have a threesome one day. But yeah, and that was another sign. Like I wanted to have a threesome. Yeah. Okay, here's the thing. I didn't what I want like okay. I think like in relationships that I've been in the past We have randomly brought up, like, should we remember the reason? I would not hate that, you know? Now, hell no. Hell no. Now that I'm dating a woman, I'm like, we are never having a threesome. I'm so sorry. I will literally never. But with a man, I was like, I kind of want to have a threesome. So that was a sign. Anyway, people would tell me that I was gay. And I was like, that's fun that we're thinking this. But my best friends, like, it would be random people. People that were usually the gay ones would tell me that I was gay. Sometimes girls would say that to me and that we're gay. And I would think maybe they were flirting with me. Or maybe they just want someone to relate to and they want me to be gay, like, for fun. Like, it would be, like, more fun for them to, like, have a conversation piece with me to talk about being gay, and, like, we would have something more in common. So I would kind of go along with it thinking that I was being conversational and being like, I mean, I was never against the idea. And I also knew that I had, like, some inklings of, like, thoughts and, like, feelings towards women. So I could kind of relate to them. Consciously, though, it never occurred to me that, like, they were saying this because they really believed that I might be a little bit gay. Like, I was thinking that they were just saying that, and I would just play along with it to be fun with them. I didn't really believe it, though. Like, I would go home and I would, like, keep texting my boyfriend or, like, the guy I was talking to. Because, again, when you're bi, you're lucky because you don't have to, like, address the elephant in the room if you don't want to. You don't really have to address it if you don't want to. You can just date men and then be straight forever, quote unquote. Because then it's just easy. Like, it felt easier that way. Anyway, and, like, just the things that, like, I would, like, I don't know how inappropriate you want me to get. I would just get turned on by, like, girls the same way I would get turned on by guys. So, like, I didn't ever have any, like, grossness or, like, weirdness about, like, wanting to kiss girl. Like I was kissing girls, like, in college and in post-college. Like, I was just kissing girls. Like, we thought it was funny. I thought that I was being performative. I've talked about this on other podcasts before, but I did think that it was just, like, for men. I thought that we were just, like, kissing in order for men to think that it was hot. Also, in my podcast episodes that I've done before, even on this show, like, I was really emphasizing the fact that I was the same exact person and that, like, I never liked any of my friends, don't worry, whatever. Like, now I'm more relaxed about, like, talking about my experience and, like, the signs growing up because I'm like, who cares? Like, whatever. If these people are, like, weirded out by, like, the crush I had on, like, Stacy or whatever, like, it doesn't really, I don't care anymore. Like, I don't care if these people think I possibly could have had a crush on them. At the same time, like, the truth is, I wasn't around a lot of the girls that would have been my type. Like, I wasn't around a lot of, like, in between feminine and masculine girls. Like, that is such a rare breed of, it feels like a rare breed of girl to me, especially growing up in Columbus, Ohio. Like, I wasn't around the type of girl that I would have been attracted to that often. And guys are everywhere, like, frat guys everywhere. That's my type of guy. So, unfortunate. Oh my God, you guys, I know. Sexuality really isn't a choice. It was just a perfect storm of being able to ignore it until you're 26. Like, and it's totally fine. If you are listening to this podcast and you're like, oh no, I might be gay, it's fine. It doesn't matter that much. Like, luckily, I mean, hopefully it stays this way, but right now we are at a time where I think we are in a more comfortable position in society in general. I don't know about each family. I don't know about each, like, community that you are personally in, but in general, in the grand scheme of our country, like, I mean, at least the big cities, like, it is completely okay to be gay. Like, it is fine. It's cool. Like, it's whatever. No one cares. Like, I live in LA. It's totally fine. Even in Columbus, Ohio, I don't think people really care. So, but I know there are so many exceptions to that. And I know the South, different story, different places, different story. There is still judgment. And, like, I know that, like, maybe if I'd come out in a different friend group that I've been in my life, it would have been a weirder kind of situation. And because I've lived in Nashville, like, I've lived in, obviously, Columbus, Ohio, but, like, I've been in different, like, friend groups, and I know it's harder in each one. So if you're listening to this and you're like, oh my God, I might be gay, and you like feel like you won't be accepted by your community, if you can, think of like a long-term plan in order to like maybe move somewhere else. I know that's not possible for everyone, but I'm saying like it might be worth it, because living in LA, my coming out experience has been so seamless and like normal, and I don't feel weird. I don't feel ostracized by my friends. I feel completely accepted. So I being in a big city is good. As time goes on, I accept my identity more and more. I mean, in the beginning of me and Shannon talking, like we were fully texting, like about to go on I was about to go on a date with a woman, and I still was like, this might not mean anything. Like, if I go on this date and I don't like it, I might be straight. Then I'm straight. I'm glad that it went so well. And I'm like, I'm happy. Like, I feel lucky to be, I can't even say the word bisexual right now. I feel lucky to be gay. Like, I feel lucky to be dating a woman. I'm in a lesbian relationship and I'm happy about it. It's awesome. It's like fun. But I know in the beginning it is so much to be like, oh my God, I don't even know if I want to address this. Like, it's just too much. Like, I just want to be normal. I want to be normal. Like, that's all I wanted. But here's the thing. I was about to say I am normal. I don't know. I feel normal. Like, I feel normal. I don't know if you guys think I am, but I feel the exact same. I feel my soul is the same. I'm just dating a woman. It doesn't matter her gender. Like, I think what I'm trying to say is it doesn't really matter that much. I mean, I like it. I like that I'm dating a woman, but I still go to the grocery store, and I still like get stuck in traffic, and I still text the same people. I still have my same friends. Nothing really big ever changed, except I feel like lighter and like freer, and more like I am fully myself. I don't have to be like, I feel more complete, and like here is every single personality trait that I have. Like, I felt like it was just a hidden part of me that was in a vault that like didn't ever have to be accessed, and I was going to push it down. And now I'm like, okay, well, here's everything. So I don't know. I'm sure there are other signs that I have forgotten, and Shannon will probably remember and text me about. But, okay. Anyways, that was I was going to do a viewer question, but my laptop is upstairs, you guys, and it's dead. And it is 11. I always film these way too late, and it's the night before this goes up, and I have to edit it in the morning. I love you guys, and I like love having this podcast. It's like so much fun for me. So I hope you guys are enjoying it too. If you do want an advice question, though, email forthegirlswithbeccamore@gmail.com. I will see your emails. I promise I'll do a viewer question next week. I love you guys. If you love me, rate this 5 stars or even if you don't love me, if you could rate this on whatever platform you listen to the podcast on, it really helps me a lot. So if you can do that, that would be awesome. And I love you guys. Thank you for being here with me through like so many random eras of my life. I love you. Was my hair messed up that entire time? I don't know yet. I cannot wait to look back at this video. Goodbye.